Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for that short break that we had there. We are going straight into the draft. This is game 2 of Sin5 versus Exdee. Right off the bat, we do see our bands going out. Ogre Magi picked on Sin5 and Undying picked for Exdee. Fire, take it away.
Is this where we see the Drow again? Because it's just the same combo. Actually, going with the Void Spirit. This is something a bit different for them. So
Also, Undying is
XD,
on Exdee now.
yeah, XD is the one picking up the Undying this time. So I was kind of hoping they or kind of expecting them to go the same thing and going, okay, let's show you how we play it. But yeah, they're going with the Void Spirit. So Undying's still a very good pos 5 and pos 4 right now. So you know, could still be expecting a lot from them, especially from team fights. So
Morphling.
Morphling.
It's interesting.
Trax, is that a Sin5
Hello?
like I don't know why.
Trax?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was lagging there.
Yeah, me too.
So I think that Morphling is like just one of the heroes that Agnum's going to be playing right now. I mean, Traxin. It makes sense that he would go with Agnum, but why would they pick it up so early in this draft? What else would be up their sleeve if you're drafting against them now?
I think Morphling, they picked it because the two opening heroes of XD doesn't do anything against Morphling throughout the game. So I think now they can just use their 3 bans to secure a very good game for Morphling, and then, yeah, you can see already the AA banned. And to be honest, I really hope XD do have proper Undying and Void Spirit picks or players, because I thought that the only way XD is going to win this is by playing to their comfort, because the previous game they only picked heroes that countered Sinister 5, but now they kept trying to counter them by picking Sinister 5's heroes.
Yeah, so definitely it could make the difference for them in game number 2. Santa, however, what are you banning?
From Exdee side or Sinister 5 side?
I mean, from both sides. Did you see the AA ban? Are you expecting something more from Sinister 5, like even
No,
the
I don't think
Alchemist, the
so. I think,
Lifestealer?
no,
Or...
that's just for the Morphling. That's a straight up Morphling ban. It was set up perfectly as well, as Jax explained. Picking it last in the first phase and then can immediately follow up
Ooh.
with bans.
So it goes that Lina ban.
Yeah, that could be from Exdee side, just for the Undying purposes.
Mhm.
Really good against Undying, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did mention good against the Tombstone, good against what Undying's trying to do. Again, a very strong hero in the South African scene. We've seen her a lot in this tournament, so it makes sense that she does get banned and the anti-mage gets banned out. So you're looking at more or less the core for XD. If you're going with, in the lane, the Drow is still in the pool though. Do you still want to pick up the Drow?
If I was XD, no, I don't think Drow's the pick here at all. I think Morphling is just a really good hero that does deal with Drow.
I mean, let's also just be honest. The draw for the previous pick was just for the PL.
I actually think they went into that game knowing what they wanted to draft, because I think they thought that XD is going to pick up the Void. If you put their draft against the Void, it would have done exactly the same as it did with the PL.
OD actually gets banned out, so expecting to see maybe the mid lane here from XD as well. But if you're going for off lane on Sin 5,
They're
there's
looking for
Bloodseeker still
Legion, I
there.
think.
Yeah, Legion is still there. You mentioned Legion for the last game was good for them as well, as it got banned out. So
Undying, Enigma's
Enigma.
been banned as well.
Here comes Legion, see?
Skywrath Mage. So are you still playing with something like the Underlord? If you're XD, are you playing Underlord? Are you playing Bloodseeker? Are you looking for something way different against the Morphling in the lane?
Underlord's too slow, I think.
I don't think Underlord, no.
And Bloodseeker won't do much against Morphling. So I don't think either of those heroes are looking good for XD at the
So who
moment.
lane's good against Morphling?
Yo. I don't know. I think it's a really. I think it's a really. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I know what's the hero. ET pos 3. There you go.
All
Easy
right.
game. Not
All
even
right.
joking. Not even memeing.
No,
Top
but
I
hero
feel like
right
you're being a
now,
bit
yeah.
biased because you
but
guys
ET is
played
the
ET.
No,
money.
no. Like I know I love ET in no matter what draft, but like ET is the #1 Morphling counter, and I honestly think ET Pulse 3 at the moment is the most underrated thing, and you'll see that pros think so as well. You won't see it much in games because it's not your generic off lane type of
Yeah,
hero.
I doubt Exdee will go for it.
Yeah, well, that's just my 2 cents. I think they should. They need to do something like that to beat
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I agree
this
with
I
you.
mean,
They
you
need
could
to
still
need
move
to
the
shock.
Void Spirit up to the mid and then have that hero come in for you.
You can still play Void Spirit.
Oh, there goes
With
the
Legion
lead.
instantly as well.
Legion and Skywrath combo.
Always
That's
fun.
gonna be very good.
Oh,
I like the
Traxxas
way
called
they
it.
drafted there. Because they picked the Skyrath first, and then XD knew they're going to pick Legion, so they had the choice to either pick Legion or Sin5 gets Skyrath and Legion.
You should have saw it with the OD ban as well, right? So what do you go against Legion now? I mean, there's the odd Ricky that just does nothing at this stage. So
I think
No,
I think you have to go something like a Swen, try and get online as fast as possible.
something I could possibly withstand burst as well.
Yeah. I think,
Whoa.
yeah.
Swim, I think.
Called it, boys.
Oh
Sven
yeah,
is a good
yeah.
hero with the Phoenix as well. You have the Void Spirit that's going to go in the back line. You have the Undying that's protecting him. So Sven definitely was what probably their best call for now. So going into the mid lane, yeah, I think it's safe to say we're going into mid lane for both. What are you expecting? We're not expecting the average from them. However, they do still have one of the best heroes that usually gets banned, and he's made it all the way here. But I mean, Puck is still there, the Templar Assassin is still there, and then you have the Pugna, which is one of the heroes that usually gets banned in this, either in the previous phases or in this phase.
I don't think Sinister 5 will pick up Pugna because they banned the OD. If they did, it wouldn't have been
No,
an
but Swen
issue.
hard counters Pugna anyways.
That's
So
true.
Are you looking at Pugna for XD maybe?
it does really well against the Skyrath Legion save. But it
Windranger
does.
also one of the heroes that's still in the pool.
I think Windranger is too squishy. I don't think XD want to pick that up. Maybe for Sinister 5 that might be good. But then again, Swen counters Windranger as well.
Do you need more setup for Legion if you're playing in the mid lane, or are you going with just Morphling? Legion initiates, Morphling kind of follows up, and whatever comes mid follows up as well. They do ban out the Timbersaw, so I think XD are thinking that this Legion goes mid.
No,
I
I
think
think they're just a little unsure and they want to be safe. They don't want to play against the Timber again.
Sin5 needs to pick up a TA. I think the TA will create a lot of space early on and prevent the
I was
Swen
about to say, I
from
think the
steamrolling.
almost more to the vision than anything else.
Yeah. They don't have much for TA at the moment as well. And they have
XD,
last pick, so
XD, you kind of want something to help you push a bit more and bring in something that can, get the pickoffs one by one, or at least just disrupt this Legion commander still. So, any heroes that come to mind with that kind of everything on it?
look, I think Pugna's a really good hero that they can pick up. I
It's
don't
just
think a lot of heroes beat it mid, and it does do a lot against Skyrath and Legion, which is going to be Sinister 5 steamrolling heroes.
Zeus.
it's gonna be the Zeus, one of the heroes that's probably the highest DPS right now and especially in the mid lane. So one of the most powerful heroes in the mid lane. We don't see it too often with it being a bit squishy and the meta being a bit tanky, but definitely a good pickup for them.
They definitely needed a hero like this. They needed to be
Yeah.
able to fight early on. That's why they have the Phoenix and Undying. They want to win the mid game so that Swen can
So
just
Sin5,
dominate.
Shadow Fiend's still there, but Shadow Fiend versus Zeus.
It's not too bad of a
It's fine. Yeah,
matchup.
it's
I
okay.
think SF can always just go jungle and then steamroll from there onwards. And then, actually, if he gets blink heals, Zeus won't have a game throughout.
Usually, that small camp that's just to the right of the Dire of the Dire sides helps the Dire mid lane a lot, but the one that's on the Radiant side is a bit harder to get to. So SF not being that picked up that much when it's on the Radiant side, though.
They do have the medium camp there as well. So I don't know. I'm not a mid player, but I'd rather play Radiant then.
But then which hero are you playing here?
I still think the TA, honestly. I think TA will not do badly against the Zeus in lane, and then he will just do whatever he wants in the mid game.
Definitely one of the heroes I'd like to see as well. It gives them a lot of mid game pressure and mid game fight as well. So
Zeus can potentially scout out the tier traps, which could then take away a lot of the control, as we mentioned. But again, then you have a Zeus that's bolting ground, if you will.
but is
trying to
that
figure
something
out-
you think about when you're drafting this now?
I don't think so. I don't think it's that necessary.
They need
But
something that deals with the Zeus
I think you
mid
did
game.
mention as well as like Zeus, it's going to be hard to ward against him and stuff. So or to ward against him and fight against him. So kind of another thing you have to look out for. You kind of want a hero that doesn't mind playing around vision. So yeah.
What are your predictions, guys? After seeing this drafts, what do you think? Sinister 5 or XD?
Sin5. Easy.
Okay, number one fan.
Yeah, we should go. Everyone except Traxin. Okay, I'm also going Sinister 5 just because of the combo that they have. They have a very strong mid game. So, but I do expect high plays from XD with the Sven and the Phoenix as well.
How about you, Santa? What's your thoughts?
Unfortunately, as well, I'm going for Sin5.
For
It's just
Sin5,
they were so dominant that game one. It's really hard betting against them.
they're clearly playing as if they are the best team in South African Dota. I mean, it's convincing. Ian, the previous match, they're dominating. So it's going to be really hard to see who is like able to beat them. So let's see what happens. All right, we're going to be giving over to the beautiful casters. They're going to be taking you back on this journey. I'm giving back over to the beard and the muscles.
Energy Esports versus Exdee. Game 2.
I just want to say that I'm certainly the muscles.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
got a bit of, like-
and I'm definitely the beard.
There's something in there, right? Okay, let's go. XD versus the 5. The panel seems to believe that the likelihood is that this will go the way of Sinister 5. I tend to agree. I think that XD are really up against it, and I don't think it's got anything to do with the draft at this point. I just think that they're that good.
I just like X's draft way more than the first game. They actually have heroes which allow them to play Dota. This is an offlane Void Spirit, so the hero can start moving around the map quite early. They actually have a big team fight spell in the form of the Phoenix with the Zeus and Tombstone. And then obviously your favorite hero is Sven. So they have tools to actually play Dota this game. But I will say this, we are in for a treat. We're getting to see a Castaway Invoker.
That is one of my favorite types of invokers. Actually, I used to be
is
so
it?
excited back in the day, man. Like when we were still White Rabbit Gaming back then, trying to take on the titans that were Bravado Emotion. We've spoken about Bravado Emotion enough. I think it's time for a new era. I think it might just be the Sin5 era. But I used to love watching the Castaway Invoker, and he does really shine on this hero. I think it's one of the heroes that made him what he is today. Interesting enough, by the way, there's another Invoker player that I used to love watching playing, and he's also in this match. It's Dota and Die back in the day.
Oh, when he actually was still playing middle.
He used to play mid, yeah. He was.
Yeah.
He was. I always just call him a pocket castaway, actually, which is funny to see how this has
Pocket
evolved.
Castaway.
Play similar hero pool, just not quite as good at the time. I guess we can say that now, because obviously nowadays Don't Die is certainly a force to be reckoned with. We saw them in the last game as well.
So Albert, we saw this Legion Skyrath combo they pulled out against Energy as well, and it looked extremely dominant. The execution between these two heroes was crisp. It was on point, and in that specific game, Energy actually had counters to it in the form of a Bane. So, like if Dota and Die pops off again, with Doom Bunny on this on the Skywrath Mage, these two heroes are going to have a massive impact in the early game.
Look, I'll say this much. I actually do think they have a really strong counter to the LC Skywrath combination. It's called the 7-slot Sven. I don't know if you've seen it, but we've seen a lot of it, right? So,
You mean the 20 minutes Sven?
I mean that if Sven does what we've seen since Sven, it counters everything. It just like Sven to me, it has the opportunity to be the most powerful hero in Dota because he just can do so much damage, and he has the tools required to get to that point. But Sin5 are starting with a tri-lane top against him, and look at the damage they've already been able to put out in half HP. Welcome to the lane. We've seen Sin5 do this a lot, like a lot. They go in with this tri-lane, they then move one of the heroes spot off, they do a little bit of damage. It's like almost a certainty at this point that they're going to do it to you.
So the reason they're doing it is they obviously like click on the Sven when he gets to lane and they look at his region. So he doesn't have a soul. Okay, he just got a soul from his career right now, but he didn't come to lane with a soul. He just got 6 tangos. So the first thing you then do is you want to force him to use as many of those tangos as possible. Force him to spend gold on regen instead of scaling like from the first minutes of the game. So it's mainly just to waste this regen.
If this is such a, it sounds like this is fairly commonly known to behave this way, and we see Sin5 do this quite frequently. Is that, I mean, why aren't we seeing more sides do it?
So this meta specifically, we actually had a talk this year. Like I was speaking to some teams from other captains from other teams, and just to kind of like get a general perspective of the game, and like the laning phase is very much a region battle at the moment, and if you can win that region battle with spending as least amount of resources as possible, like it sets up your carries to go into the mid game, into the late game, especially because Midas and those types of items are coming back. If you can have a 6, 7, 8 minute Midas, it makes a huge difference over having to buy 4 souls, which is 400 gold. Just delays your Midas timing by an extra minute or 2 minutes.
Okay.
Talking about Midases, do you think Castaway is going to go Midas on this Invoker?
Can I answer him when he queues up his next item? Could be the play. I don't know. I feel like it's less necessary these days. There's definitely a time with Invoker it was his first item. You rushed out that Midas as soon as possible. But it does feel like you have way more flexibility. I would be surprised actually if you guys are too quick. But look at the damage onto Junaid already, and he stood his ground for a second. Does he die here? I think he dies here. He's so my word.
Very fire, good item. Ooh, if that Sunstrike hit though, he was 100% dead. But yeah, that just shows Castaway's intent. He's going Exalt Invoker. He had the Cold Snap. He had the Sunstrike queued up. And the moment that creep wave cleared, he instantly went for the Cold Snap to try and get as much damage onto the Zeus as possible. The Exalt is also obviously going to be extremely good with the Legion Commander when the dual slot coming out. He can hit the Sunstrike. One thing I do want from Exdee though, the moment Legion starts rotating the map is trying to duel people. If you have Undying and Phoenix behind that target, and you've got Soul Rip and Sunray on a target, it might be enough to make a target survive, even the Skywrath Mage combo. So if the supports from Exdee's positioning is on point, they do have counters for this combo, and then they have the Zeus to make a counterplay. So there is potential for this dual combo that we spoke about not to be as impactful as it was against the energy game.
Well, I guess the thing is to me is that like, I know this sounds terrible, but I'm just worried that it doesn't even matter what they're picking this point. I mean, you remember, was it Wings? They used to pick all the like ridiculous things all the time. They had like such enormous. It didn't really matter, right? They just play Dota better than other teams. So I think that's one of the issues that you're up against with Sinister 5. When we watched Energy take on Sinister 5, I kept making this point about the way that they pick their fights. They probe and then they find the fight that they want to take, and they go back into it, and it's just like a thing, right? It's something that teams do, and it's one of the harder things to do. But we've also just seen incredible mechanical skill. We've seen, I would say, just fantastic decision making. Like the package is just all there right now. Exdee are so like they're such a titan to have to slay here. I will say this much though. If they can even just take one game off Sin5, it changes the landscape because that as soon as a team like this bleeds and really bleeds, then it opens up their weaknesses and you can start trying to take advantage of them.
I 100% agree with you. Like, because at the moment, like from what we've been seeing of them, they look unbeatable, and you just need to make them bleed. And the moment they bleed, teams like XD themselves and the other teams are gonna go, okay, hold on. Like, let's look at these replays. Let's look at the gaps. Let's find the weaknesses. Let's exploit them. So
I think what was different, because that's the thing. When you get destroyed and you see what was different, and you go, oh, it was this thing. All of a sudden, the game changes entirely. But
so like you said, you need to get Duck on the phone.
get Duck on the phone, guys. What did you do? How did you achieve this? Obviously, XD did take a game of Sin5 in the group stages as well, the qualifying stages, but that was a 4v5 matchup in the end. So, yes, it doesn't.
Yeah, at this caliber.
Oh wow! Look
you
at
go
B,
4v5.
super low at the moment. Are they going to be able to finish the job here? Soulrip is there to keep himself alive, and you can see that they're happy to almost exchange the damage. B is doing a little bit of damage to Doom Bunny. He realizes that that's the end of it. Sunstrike does connect. Yes, it does. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your first blood, courtesy of Castaway. And it looks like they're not done with this just yet. They do put a little bit of pressure underneath the tower as well. That tower is helping out a lot though. As Remedy should feel fairly safe. There's not a huge amount of mana left on the Skywrath. And Dota die, obviously, not too keen just to beat him to death.
Just playing aggressive. So it is first blood on the pos 5. Obviously, first blood, the gold advantage is great, but his Sven is staying alive, CSing pretty decently. He's on par with the Void Spirit. Oh, top lane.
Yeah, and look what was inside of it. A full celled and all the components required to upgrade his magic stick.
Yeah, so
that really hurts.
That hurts a lot. Like he's losing that region battle effectively. He spent that gold, he can't use it. Castaway middle. Oof. Okay, so that was a Sunstrike Cold Snap combo with the Skywrath Mage slow. So it was pretty. It's so much damage.
And all they need. I mean, once again, you kind of. I don't think Zeus is like the worst hero in the world at just playing without items or anything, of course. But you really don't want to find a fact where you're actually giving Castaway the lane. Like that is the more terrifying. It's just don't lose it. Like you don't have to win it, but don't lose it. That's the big one.
So he's on par with CS, but he's had 2 deaths now. So is it 2 deaths or 1 death? Am I mistaken?
It's just the one.
One death.
The other death was the Sunstrike kill top.
Yeah, so obviously that 400 gold he got from the Sunstrike kill is giving him a start advantage. So Zeus is keeping up in farm. And Zeus can flash farm. If you look at the build he's going as well. Oh, Phoenix.
I didn't see that one. Sting's very low as well, but looks like Adam wants to try find the additional kill here as well. We'll get a little bit of extra damage off, but I don't think they can't finish this. There's no stun available, so he's
Very
just
good play by Burned Biceps. Looked at the Ogre's mana pool, knew he couldn't get stunned, and he instantly just TP'd out. But yeah, Zeus is going farming build, eh? Like this is kind of the Zeus build at the moment. No one is really leveling the bolts early. Just Arc Lightning and the Static Field. Oh, we're missing these kills, eh?
No, I got you.
Oh, you got it.
We got it. We missed one.
I'm missing these kills. Let me rephrase.
Inshallah, we missed 2. Okay, so we got half. It's okay. As long as we only missed 2. Okay, I say this. I didn't even know where that happened.
Okay, so it was a Cold Snap combo onto the Zeus. Zeus ultied, Arc Lightning the Invoker as his last attack animation went off. So the Zeus killed him first, but then the attack animation hit him afterwards, and they both died.
Top lane, they could lose Don't Die here as well. He requires 1 2 hits, but crazy attack going to keep him alive. This seems to be an incredibly aggressive game, but I mean, look at the HP on the side of Sin5 right now. They've all been in the wall. As you can see, Don't Die very, very low for the time being. There's also that regen run, so someone can go snag it, and it definitely helps when you have this many heroes on low HP. So mid lane, this is the oldest combination in the book, and although Junaid does run the right way, moves forward, he is reliant in fact on some help from the Undying, but in the end, not even that's going to be enough. And Castaway happy to trade blows here. He realizes that taking this Undying off the map is certainly going to help the team and put the rotations that he needs from it.
Sven goes down.
So
very aggressive game.
What's going on? Like this is it's so hard to predict these kills. You just don't expect them to be. But anyways, cool, good.
Yeah, no, I'm not
7-1 in 7 minutes.
down. Not too sure how he went down. I just saw it on the minimap quickly. Legion not level 6 yet, but getting closer and closer. This Legion has gone the soaring vault on the so you see a lot of Legions at the moment go more levels of moment of courage or even press the attack. But the old school build, if you just want to harass and be as annoying as possible in the lane, you go soaring into with overwhelming odds. And you just try and double stack up the creep waves and nuke the enemy carry as much as possible. So I like this build by Dota and Die. He's got duel up.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it work as well with the Sunstrike as well. There's so much damage here, but the help is coming in. They do actually manage to turn this one around. So in the end, that duel does not go the way that they needed to. And in fact, they get the kill on the other side. Don't Die falls instead. Bottom lane looks like they're interested once again in this Void Spirit, but Baron, quite a hard hero takedown. More importantly, I think is the Morphling getting farm in this lane or not so much if they're getting kills. And at the moment, it does look like he's having a decent time. A third on the net worth log behind the Zeus.
And he's been soloing for quite a long duration in this lane. So he's got good levels. He's level 6 already. I just want to add the Undying skill build here is very good. Like the 2 levels of Soul Rip early. That duel came out. He actually just healed up the Sven instantly from the Soul Rip, put the Tombstone down. So like we spoke about. Oh wait, top lane? No, it's just a little bit of a harass, but nothing serious. But yeah, the Sunray from the Phoenix and the Undying Soul Rip can keep these targets alive during duel. If you look at Phoenix as well, he's already got another level of Sunray as well. A lot of Phoenixes puts more points into the dive and the fire spirits, but they are prepping for these dual rotations to try and get as much damage out and also try and keep their cores alive.
Once again, mid lane, they just keep doing the same thing. That same combination, so hard to deal with. And this time around, can they turn it? No. Again, Castaway just survives, and the Phoenix as well in the bottom lane will also go down to a combination of Schlinks' Ogre as well as Agnem's Morph. With Doom Bunny also involved, I assume. Let's see who got involved there.
So this Zeus
them.
is having a horrible time at the moment. He's level 7, Castaway is level 9 at the moment. And every time he's coming to lane, he's just getting cold snap meatball comboed. And he won't be able to come back to this lane.
So he's coming back. Fortunately for him, wow, this is actually just falling apart right now. They get another kill onto Exdee. They're getting more than a kill minute right now, and that's once again 2k advantage.
Level 6 as well, before 10 minutes even. So this Skywrath is going to try and get some mana up now, and then he's probably going to try and make a rotation with the Legion Commander, because they've got that combo now: Sunstrike, Skywrath Mage, ulti into duel. So it's just about pressuring the map. Oh, he's going to deal top.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching as well. The Castaway actually has just killed mid again, but will the Sunstrike come in? Is it even required? Probably is required. Don't Die not able to finish the job here, so in the end... so mid is just the... Okay, well...
Oh.
Okay. 12 in 10 minutes right now. Sin5 can still find the kills whenever they want them at this point. Bottom lane, this is a little bit quieter again, but look at this. I mean, we spoke in the first game about having your kills on the heroes you want and your deaths on the heroes you want. In this case here, 5 of them onto your mid.
Yeah, so they need to rotate bodies into this mid lane and try and gank this Invoker. Or the Zeus needs to give this lane to one of the supports. Give it to the Phoenix, let him just deep-push it with Fire Spirits. Try and keep the tower alive as long as possible and become level 6. So you see the Phoenix rotating middle now. The Zeus is not... Oh, the Zeus is coming back again as well. He just needs to go jungle for a bit. Like, he needs to get some sustainability up. It looks like he wants to go 8 lanes. I think the Phoenix needs to solo here. Just deep push the lane Fire Spirits and let your Zeus farm. Like, he can't show himself in this mid lane. He's just going to get popped over and over again. Or bottom lane on the Undying.
Do have the engagement once again. Nice heal comes out, and they're going to drop down the Remnant as well. Just control Aghanim.
Very nice save by Baron Biceps there with the Remnant play. If he didn't hit that Remnant, that Undying was 100% dead. I'm curious to see why they have... Okay, here we go. Skywrath Mage top, Legion Commander top, Duel is up. They're gonna try this combo.
And they're gonna walk straight into Remedy, and immediately they catch him out, drop down the LT. They're trying to help him out, bail him out. They might just be able to do so, and they will. Remedy will live. And now they want to turn their attention to Doom Bunny. He has very few options available to him, and they should be able to finish the job. Baron Biceps, one more hit required. In fact, he'll come from the Phoenix instead. So the offlane duo does manage to find the kills that they need.
So very well played there by Exdee. They ran into the Skywrath Mage ulti to try and share the damage instead of the Sven tanking all of it. and the Phoenix was sunraying him as well. So he literally ran into the Sky ulti and then started a sunray channel just to try and keep the Sven alive. And Sven got out there with the I think 100 HP. So very very well played, very well execution. Trying to heal that Sven up, making sure they don't start this Legion doesn't start snowballing like we saw the other day. Because that's effectively his second duel, and he still doesn't, or third duel, and doesn't have any duel damage yet.
I want to say as well, this is almost the first time we've gotten to see Exdee play Dota, because this time around they're actually at this point where you can see them, they're trying to find objectives, they're doing the thing, you know, Sven pops his ult, you're going to go into the jungle, we know this is the stuff that you want to be able to do in order to win your Dota games, and they're now actually being able to do that stuff. The previous matchup, there was never a point where it felt like Exdee were in a position to try and get an objective, where they could do something that you could almost anticipate. And I think probably an easy way to know when a team is playing or having a good game or is in control is when they do things you can easily anticipate. Bottom lane though, Casso will run into the Undying and find himself a pick off there.
If this Invoker is getting out of hand, and he's got Midas Boots of Travel up at 13 minutes. He's got Midas Boots of Travel at 30 minutes. He's 7,500 net worth.
Can I answer that question?
He
I
is
was going to get Midas or not. Does it still count?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I think he's not going to get Midas because he already has it. That's why.
So one thing from XD's perspective as well, this Void Spirit doesn't need much to have an
There's an
impact.
engagement top, and they're going to commit to it. The ulti comes in from both Doom Bunny. Oh, okay, well, bye. Basically, once more. Don't die and Doom Bunny this time on the right side of the duel. They will get the duel victory as well, so able to turn one around. I was quite surprised. That looked like a fight that XD wanted themselves.
Yeah. Oh, Zeus is gone again. Oof, this is getting very rough. They need to start making space for the Sven. They need either map control or tower control, and the Sven needs some space to farm. Ideally, this bottom tower needs to go down so Sven can actually go and play in Sin5's jungle. So he can just like kind of shove out this lane and then move between his triangle, their jungle, and the lane. So they need to start putting some pressure. They have the spells for it. They've got Phoenix Egg up. They've got Zeus ulti, and as I was saying, the Void Spirit doesn't necessarily need that much. So he's got phase boots now. He's going Yules, but his hero still has an impact just with spells. So he just needs to catch. Oh, here we go.
They have caught out the Ogre Magi, and he is very, very deep. He's not going to care too much. That's okay. But on the back line, they may lose the support partner as well, as Doom Bunny's backing up. But this could potentially be a trap. Carsway was interested, had the meatball lined up as well. So had that tornado connected, no doubt he would have lapped up some XD bodies on their way down.
Yeah, so that's at least something for them. Forcing Sin5 out of your jungle. They have scanned them though, so they know where they are. Does that mean they're looking for smoke play? Oh, no, just for the bounty collection. So very clever play by Sin5. Used the scan, knew that they could collect the bounties, and this Morphling is farming safely. No pressure on Aghanim. He actually went the Mask of Madness on Morphling. We're seeing Mask of Madness as an item become way more popular on all these farming centric cores. So we're even seeing anti-mages going Mask of Madness into Battle Fury, just because you kind of get the Battle Fury at the same time you would have without the Mask of Madness.
Options.
Yeah. So, and also like especially on edgy heroes that you can split the Mask of Madness later on for a Butterfly or a Satanic even.
No, I didn't say that's probably the idea that Agham's got here, is that he can just reuse it. But mid lane, they're going to find a pick up onto the Zeus again, and they're going to be able to get their Phoenix back and able to drop down that Elfin. And he's going to be able to get it though. One more tick required will actually be cancelled. And in the end, looks like once more Exdee on the back foot here. Go and die, charging down. They want to try to find this and die, but he's a pacey lad thanks to the war cry coming out from Remedy. That's a settle for just 3.
Junaid needs to like get a Yules or a 4-star up as soon as possible. Like I understand the whole Aetherlace build is kind of a standard on the Zeus, but like he's not having any impact in this game because he's either just getting jumped and dueled, or he's getting Evoker comboed. If he has a 4-star or a Yules and he's got quick fingers, the moment this Legion comes into the fight, you can just use him. You can kind of delay the duel, your team can set up and react to it. But this Aether Lens, I understand that he wants to keep himself safe and out of the fights, but he is just getting caught every fight. He needs to like get a defensive item, and obviously because he's a Zeus, it'll benefit him in the long run from the mana region. Top lane?
Top lane, yeah, nice fancy footwork there. Will keep Void alive for a little bit longer, but Dota still wants this duel. They're going to drop down the kitchen signal again. They did bring in the Phoenix, trying to get at least a cross kill here, but that Sunray is going to run out, and the TP will be good. But in comes Remedy, wants to try turn this one around, trying to find anything, but they just can't get on top of Doom Bunny. They will send their sports forward, trying to pick up Doom Bunny, but in the end, he is A-OK, and Castaway, look at him go behind the tower. He's got some problems. He wants to bail out the Ogre, not going to be able to do so. Drops the Ice Wall, but wants to back off. That Sven has got that God Strength activated. And the mana pool is low. Castaway surely not thinking about this. Goes back in though, wants a piece of the Phoenix, and looks like he'll be able to do so because he does get a little bit of help, but he has to be careful. But look at the plays. The support from Sin5 is just so good. They've managed to control the Sven, silence him out, and in comes the Morphling as well. Can they finish him off? This is what we saw last time. How ridiculous, how absurd. They're going to lose Dota and die though, but they do manage to get the Sven, and they may lose Aghanim here as he is in a little bit of trouble. They bring in the Void Spirit, and
he's still got a lot of morph
unable
to
to finish the
fine.
job.
So the problem I'm seeing from Exdee is it looks like there's a lot of indecision. Like the Sven tried to engage onto the Skywrath Mage 3 times there, and then he backed away, and then wanted to re-engage, and then the Phoenix jumped forward the moment he was turning, and then he decided he wants to go again because the Phoenix is going. It just kind of looks like they're unsure of if they should be taking these fights or not. They just need to relax, calm down, and have a clear directive. Who are we focusing in these fights? Get the Legion out, get the Skywrath Mage out. That's their combo. This Invoker is a bit big at the moment. The Morphling is a bit big. Like let's leave them for last. So get the Skywrath Mage out of the fights, get the Legion Commander out of the fights, and then play from there.
I'm sorry to say it, but this is a dead Zeus again. And make it look a little bit easier, and they try to go back and cast when he's out of that as well. They're not actually able to do damage to Castaway in the time it takes him to kill his opposite number.
Yeah.
That was 2-on-1. That was 2-on-1, and Castaway didn't take a tick of damage. He was able to blink away.
He's also 6 levels above the Zeus. So Zeus is around the same level as the Sven and the Morphling, but this Invoker is level 8.
That's it?
Yeah, that's Sven. Oof, the Skywrath Mage Legion combo is insane. Like, we all know it's a staple and we've all known it's been strong, but they are making it look completely broken. They are making this combo look like it should be taken out of Dota.
Well, they're trying to re-engage back here. They do manage to find their way on top. That is crazy. That Undying is just being melted. It actually kind of... I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult this team. And the silence comes out onto the Phoenix. He's going to die as well now. But I don't mean to insult this team, but what this kind of looks like, if I'm perfectly honest, is when regular Dota players play against bots. You know, where like they just get to do what they want to do. There's like little to no ability to fight back. And you're talking about players that are some, you know, these guys, all the Exdee players would have particularly high ranks as far as it goes. What they would do to bots is actually a lot worse than what I can do to a bot. But the point is, it's just kind of like there's no spells being allowed to be cast by Exdee at this point. It's
So
20 minutes in, and
it's just
Sinister
that
5.
they're so far behind at the moment. Like, look at this Void Spirit. That's your pos 3. Once again, he doesn't have a single item. In a 20-minute game, your offlaner doesn't have like one item.
I mean, on top of that, they're going at how many kills? I mean, it's 20 minutes in. They're going at 1.5 kills a minute. I mean, consider how ridiculous that is.
So
it is.
To give it perspective as well, this alacrity that Invoker is casting on himself with his levels in a 20-minute game, he's hitting for 270 damage at 0.3 attacks per second. Sorry, he's hitting at 4 attacks per second. He attacks every 0.3 seconds. So he's hitting you for 1,000 damage in 1 second.
Oh, they want this. They drop the tombstone. They know that Sin5 is going to run into them, and maybe they can turn. They do give a really good stun, and they'll pop that age immediately. Remedy doing work here. Had enough of this, has he? But Aghanim will be able to get to the high ground, but they were waiting from the trap was set. Can they pick up this Morphling? He's immediately going straight into strength, though. He wants to make sure he's okay, but in comes Cosmo in the backline. He does interrupt things, and they're controlling the Sven. Take that. Doesn't matter. God strength, what? You can't even move right now. And on the back lines, they will be able to finish with one of the sports. Surely one more hit required. Be able to back off, but they do have that Morphling hunting right now. He'll wait for him back up. Picks up one, wants some more. Aghanim trying to finish the job here. Just beating down onto Exdee. And they've found out another chunky lad, and he's gone too. They do manage to get something out of this time. Exdee make them work for it at the very least. But bear in mind,
and that's as good as it's gonna get, eh?
Yeah, it started off with that amazing Stormhammer onto 2, deletes, 2 heroes staying on top of each other. It's never going to get better than that.
Yeah, so obviously they had Aegis there. If they did not have Aegis, this Morphling drops out of the fight instantly. And they still killed the Morphling at the end again. So this was not... who killed the Morphling? Was that a Zeus ulti? No, it was...
The
Bottom
Gaia
right.
Tower? What? I don't know, like... I'm reading things crazily, never mind. Yeah, Voidspur got him.
Yeah.
I'm actually going crazy. Where is this? Yeah, Voidspur got him.
Yeah, so obviously the voice character came back in, and the Aghanim was probably morphing, and then he just got caught off guard because he was still looking healthy after the Phoenix kill. So slight hope there. Like if that wasn't for Aegis, that morphling would have died way earlier. You wouldn't have lost 3 heroes to the morph. So they just need to get this BKB on the Sven because the Invoker is completely controlling him. He was deafening blasted that last fight, popped his Mask of Madness, but he was disarmed, so he couldn't hit anything. And he's just not life stealing, and the heroes can have free roam on him.
It looks like they want more there, just once again, just obliterating cores here. You're gonna find the Zeus, and they want a little bit more from this as well. Sven doesn't even have a chance to fight. He's absolutely bullied out of this game. Look at the net worth on Castaway.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. He's out farming a Sven and a Morphling, 2 of
No.
the fastest farming heroes in the game.
No, he's literally got more than the top 2 cores combined at the moment of his opposite number. He's actually starting to reach the point. In fact, yeah, he's starting to reach the point where he's going to have the same net worth as the Sven, the Zeus, and the Void Spirit.
And also look at what item build he's going. He's going pure aggression, eh? He's got a Blink Dagger, Boots of Travel, a Lincoln Sphere, a BKB, and now he's going Octarine Core. He just wants his spells up as frequently as possible, and he wants to be able to hunt the whole time. He has not stopped.
Well, they do go in on Castaway. I don't know how wise that is right now. I think just run when you see the man. But this 24 minutes in, and that's your first tier 3 gone when they want it, and Castaway once going to crash, and once again, it's this poor Zeus who's going to be caught out, and he'll get dueled as well, and brought down. So another death for him, and they're going to take the racks alongside it. I honestly, I want to point out, this team that they're doing this to, they're technically tied, if you will, for your 1 seed going into the stage.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. This is scary. It's just like, once again, like this Zeus didn't have a chance to play Dota. He went Blink Dagger afterwards. I still think he needed a Yules. They needed a Yules on someone. I guess the Voice Spirit was going it. He changed up his item build to an Ags, but they needed something to stop this Legion Commander combo. And also Void Spirit is not a hero that builds like utility items for your team. So like if you want to survive the Skyrife Mage combo, get a pipe or get a hood or something like that. But there's no hero that's building a hood or a pipe or anything to sustain their team from this aggression that Sin5 is showing towards them.
This game's done. We can, you know, we can just say what it is. There's a 30k net worth lead. They're just destroying them, and it's actually kind of reached the point where I think Sin5 are memeing a little bit, and that's why they're diving and playing so aggressively. They're just trying to finish the game off. They want to go enjoy their Saturday evening, and I challenge anyone once again to. Okay, well, let's Castaway. That just looks cool, right? Castaway comes in, Meatball. They do drop the Phoenix Egg as well. They're going to potentially finish off the Undying on the sidelines, but that's just Sven gone as well from the fight. Tornado goes through, and Remedy stays alive a little bit longer. Sunstrike will connect, though, and they're going to finish Phoenix off as well. I think the GG is going to be called any second. There it is. GG called. Let's just call it what it is. Sin5 are not... These guys have pretty much raised the trophy. Right, like this is the thing. It's no longer about who can win this tournament. It's simply who can beat Sin5, and that's frankly a bigger question. Because of course, congratulations, Sin5, you just took 40 minutes to go from a winners bracket final to a grand final. I mean, the amount of time of actual competitive Dota that was played here was probably closer to about 15. I mean, that's how dominant they have been. There was about 15 minutes of this game, and maybe like 5 minutes of the previous game, if we want to be really kind, of how much competitive Dota there was. And they're in a grand final right now.
Yeah, so top 2 secured. And they're just looking insane. Like this Invoker pick, the Zeus never had a game. Like from 5 minutes into the game, the Zeus's game was over. He didn't have any impact. This Void Spirit once again sacrificing items to try and make space on the map, and then you get 20 minutes into the game and your poster doesn't have any items. It's just about scaling. Sin5 was scaling much better. They were prioritizing that first item, and then they used that tempo to snowball over XD.
Yeah, it is literally, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Telkom VS Gaming Dota 2 Championships, where we have a tyrant running loose right now. Sin5, can someone beat them? XD is certainly not today. They'll match up against Energy soon, tomorrow, and then one of them gets the opportunity to try and fix the problem that is just, I don't know, answer the solution. I don't know what it is. Panel, maybe you can help me out here, but to me right now, this is the single strongest team there's been in South African esports. The difference is just too big.
Glimmer of hope taken away, lads. I literally thought XD was going to give us a third game. And then what happened? You were right, Trax. Sin5 just came in hard. What's your thoughts on that match, guys? That was a pretty intense one.
Like, I'd say it started off with something that gave like everyone a bit of hope, and then it just snowballed from there, going insane, especially for Castaway as well. Like, the man was
Straight-
insane.
His Nutritech kicked in. His Nutritech is clearly working for him. Like, what? The man was like, I'm not sure. At one point, he was like sitting with 19 kills, the most kills in the game. I believe he had more towards the end. I can actually double check
I think like a lot of it
for
came
that.
down
Man
from the draft. It was just the way that they were controlled.
had
within
20
the draft, and
kills at
that
the
made
end of
all
the
the difference. Traxin, I mean, you predicted this a 2-0, right? Going into the game very confidently, and it seems like very confidently Sinister5 just stomped both of these games. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I haven't seen XD play this tournament, but that draft did not look like a draft XD ever played in their life before. It felt like they just tried to counter pick Sinister 5. I don't know. They 2 years that they picked up at the start didn't synchronize at all throughout
It's
the
one of the
draft.
things we mentioned, right, when they draft, especially in game 1, and then game 2, it seemed a lot more of let's just counter what Sin5's trying to do, and obviously
Yeah.
that's probably not what you should be doing. So,
Yeah, especially
ideas
if
on what
you
they could have improved on?
well, especially if you don't if you know you're not on the same skill level as the other team, you need to play according to your pros, because like you can't go and counter someone that does something better than you do. The only way to beat them is to do something differently.
Santo, your thoughts on just how XD could have played the game better from the beginning in order to prevent this kind of snowball?
I don't know. I think mid was a bit of a disaster, as we saw. Castaway just completely went out of control. I didn't like the Zeus as much, but the options was limited. So I don't know, change something around mid, I would say, because that was a big problem. And then yeah, they just had a lot of setup.
Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna quickly go jump over to the current winner of this match. Sinister 5, we're gonna be chatting to Doom Bunny. Doom Bunny, sir, how are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. I got carried.
You got carried, you say?
I mean, did you guys see what Travis did that game? He practically won 1v5. I didn't even have to do anything.
Just do me one quick favor. Just quickly mute that OBS there for me.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Not
I'll
a
rejoin.
problem. Okay, so yeah, so Travis was just, I mean, he went full on Nutritech there for me. Well, for all of us. Do money?
Sorry.
Oh, there
Sorry,
we go.
I clicked the wrong way. I muted my camera.
It's okay, I get it. You're like super excited now. You're done pressing buttons. All of the buttons look good. How many buttons did you press this game? Because you guys look like you were just like going ham. Game
Probably-
1 and 2.
Probably a few too many buttons. Too many for Exdee to handle, I think.
All right, that was definitely clear. I mean, that was well played. Like, just well played. You guys did such a good job. I must say, props to the clockwork in the first game. You, sir, are annoying, and I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Is there a nice way to say that? But thank you, I
I
suppose.
mean, you know what I mean. You did your clockwork job. You did a good
Yeah,
job. No,
I died many times. That was my role
oh,
that game. Suicide for the team.
I mean, yeah, and you did that, and it worked. And I must say, you did a really good job at that. And come on, those hooks, those cogs. Without you, I think they would have struggled a little bit more. Now, grand finals, secure top 2. How's the team feeling? How are you guys excited? Did you guys know you were going to be there?
Of course, we always expected. I mean, if we didn't make it to the grand finals, it would have been a bit of a disaster, I think. I don't know what would have happened. So I'm glad we're here. But even this isn't enough. We have to win it. At this stage, we know we're favorites. We feel like we're strong. We have to take it.
Well, currently, the word on the street is the best South African Dota 2 team.
Why are you
I
guys
know-
overhyping us, man? That's I don't want to hear that. No pressure that puts on us.
Well, you previously said no, we still have a lot to improve on and a lot to work on, but you guys are performing extremely well. Do you really not think maybe there's reason to have a bit of an ego going into the grand final?
A bit of an ego, but I mean, best in the history of SA. We've had such dominant teams in the past. We've had Bravado and White Rabbit, who no one could touch for years. I don't think we've proven ourselves to be that level yet. But if we win this tournament and continue to perform as we are, then definitely I think it's fair to talk about it. But one thing I do want to just give a quick shout out. We haven't really mentioned him so far, but our coach has done phenomenal work with us, and he's definitely a big reason why you've seen probably quite a bit of improvement throughout the year in the Sin5 guys.
That's brilliant. Good. Chichi, well played, coach. So, oh yes.
You mean between Exdee and EN next, or?
That's fine. You could go answer that question. Sorry.
So how are we preparing for the next game? Firstly, we're going to watch what Energy and Exdee do, what they draft. It's been interesting to see that all of a sudden Energy are now picking up the Enchantress. I think that's quite a favorite of mine. You saw in these 2 games got banned out in the first phase. So that's something to look forward to. Maybe Mental will be on the Enchantress next time around. We'll see if I can deal with his Enchantress. Felt like he couldn't exactly deal with mine. But but yeah, no. In terms of preparation, I think we should already be prepared. We've got our strats. It's more now what Energy are going to pull out, what other tricks they have up their sleeve. Perhaps they've been hiding something in the first series. We're definitely not going to take them for granted. We're not going to underestimate them.
Okay, so Team Bunny, I want to say congratulations on the win. You guys deserve to be in the grand finals. You guys have been performing very well. You guys are the upper bracket winners. Congratulations, and I wish you best of luck going forward. And we all will be watching. And I hope you can go to carry a trophy this year. Good luck, and we'll be chatting you tomorrow.
Cool. Check you then.
All right, guys. Whew. Sinister 5, top team in SA, going up against I don't know, possibly Exdee again, possibly Energy. What are your thoughts, guys? Do you think we're going to be seeing Sin5 win?
Everyone except Traxian again, or
yeah, everyone except Traxian, of course.
I think like they faced both these teams now, right? So we've seen what they can do against these teams. I think it's going to come down to what the teams bring for them in the next time, if they face them this next time, and it is going to be a tough challenge for them. So everyone wants to say Sin5. I definitely want to see them win it as well. We have said that they are some of the heroes, some of the players that have been in the finals before but didn't get the win. So I think everyone was rooting for them right now.
Yeah. How about you, Santa? What do you think? Are you thinking Sin5 win, or do you think Energy or Exdee are going to come from that lower bracket, come for vengeance?
I'm personally a fan of Energy, to be honest. So I'm hoping they the first will make the finals and then definitely make a dent in Sin5.
Hmm.
So
Traxion probably doesn't
I'm
like
gonna
that.
go with my boys' energy for the finals.
Energy, that's actually
Even
wow.
even though they still have a game remaining and it's no game to look past.
Yep. Trax, I assume I don't have to ask you, unless you have an energy shirt or an XD shirt hiding in your cupboard.
Well, as long as they don't pick Doom mid again, I'm excited for the game.
So yes, so everyone, tomorrow at I believe 1:30 the stream goes live again. We will be having the lower bracket final. That will be XD versus Energy Esports. It is not to be missed. It is going to be one game that you really want to watch, and it's going to be right after that. We're going to see one of those guys go up against Sin5 in the grand final. Guys, any last messages, any last words you guys want to put out here into the verse? Yay Dota, maybe a heroes that you want to see more, maybe a message that people have to ban something. Anyone have a little message?
Just go hashtag pick disruptor.
Hashtag disruptor. All right. I haven't seen a disruptor yet in this tournament. Trax, you just want to say hashtag #1 Sin5 fan?
I want to see ET.
You
Come
want to
on.
see ET? Of course. You just want to see the ET truck go over people. Santa, any last words from you?
No, nothing from my side.
Nothing
I
from
think
you.
we covered most of it.
And I believe tonight we proved two things. The hashtag wit for Travis is a real thing. Nutritech does truly help. That was the Telkom VS Gaming Dota 2 Championship. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will be live again tomorrow. Catch you there. Bye.
Yeah.